Hey everyone! Fresh off the deep dive into Vector, I have decided to put into practice some of the ideas sprinkled throughout the series. It has to be said that these attempts were the first unrefined incarnations, and things may or may not get better with some or all of these. I have tried 3 raw ideas. One turned out to be very disappointing. Another one produced a total of 1 whole trade. And the third one has been actually quite okay so far. To be able to produce footage for the original video, I used razor-thin spreads like 0.15 or 0.2%. But these are not really viable for real-life trading because the fees will eat up all of the profits anyway. So, I had this set up with 0.5% as the target spread across 3 frames, each 0.15 seconds long, with border ranges squeezed between -5 and +5% of the spread. It did produce 1 trade, under circumstances on the weirder side of what I've seen. There is indeed a straight, readily visible spread of just over 0.5%, with nothing in the middle, and all the action happening on the edges. I had both buy and sell algos looking for the same pattern, and here the lower part of the spread just vanishes fractions of a second before my buy order could be placed. At the same time, the sell order was filled, but the price started pulling upwards, resulting in a stop loss. There's not much to analyze here, except for the fact that this pattern happens way too infrequently, which is a finding in itself. The only filter I used here was the price step filter capped at 0.04. This was to avoid false triggers by coins like these. So if I were to proceed with this line of inquiry, I'd have to somewhat loosen the pattern requirements. Which is the opposite of what I feel needs to be done in case of my next example. This one is based on the expectation of a slow, gradual rollback after a large-ish buy shot from this video. When it is good, it is really good. But when it is bad, it is, you guessed it, really bad. With no major filters except the aforementioned price step, I tried 3 variations of minimum distance across 3 variations of order setups. The distances were first around 1 to 1.3%, then around 3%, and also around 5%. And the order setups were plus 3% with a 150% take profit and a trailing stop loss, aimed at shots that did not really roll back initially. The second order setup was at minus 10% order distance, with the same take profit and trailing, aimed at shots that dip a little bit further down before reversing. And the third setup was for plus 15% order distance, with only a 30% take profit, aimed at shots that did roll back somewhat initially, to quickly then take advantage of potential further rollback of another 15%. Well, the overall ROE for this unfiltered mess was over minus 20%. The only even mildly promising setups were the plus 15 order distance for shots over 1.3% and the plus 3 and plus 15 order distance for shots over 5.5%. Overall, there were almost equal numbers of profits and losses, so as is, this has the same chance as a coin toss, which means I have to try and tighten the filters and or the take profit and trailing stop setups to tip the scale in my favor. Oh, and the long order lifetimes are no good. Even 1 second is way too much. I'm currently trying stuff somewhere between 0.1 and 0.3 seconds. The most promising idea so far was the double shot setup from the shot detect video. In its unfiltered state, it was producing good results on both sides for shots over 1% and orders set up at +5 and -25% of spread. To be fair, a lot of it wasn't clean second shots, but rather the price meandering around the orders and ending up where I needed it to be. But hey, if it works, why not? So I got a bit more brave and moved away from test order sizes to 1K orders. And it kept going fine until this one. Oh well, wrong place, wrong time, I guess. There's nothing too obvious that I could have done to avoid it, so it doesn't necessarily negate the whole approach and the overall thrust of it. I just have to fine tune it in a way where it can withstand these types of setbacks overall. So, to summarize, the trial runs of these three ideas are not what I would call wildly successful so far. For the straight spread approach, it makes sense to loosen the requirements, and for the other two, to tighten the filters and focus on the situations that actually work.